But it wasn't all good news for New York's dictator, emphasis on the first syllable. The Supreme Court handed down a ruling, and this gets a little into the weeds, so I'm sorry for the technical jargon here, but it's important to understand the context. The ruling dealt with Cuomo's insistence on banning religious gatherings during the pandemic, and what the court did was to bitch slap Cuomo. Again, sorry for the technical terms. I know it's kind of going over some people's heads, but I want to give some colloquial summary here. It was officially a court bitch slap. Allow me to give you a chunk of the concurring opinion from Neil Gorsuch, which was the most fun. The governor has chosen to impose no capacity restrictions on certain businesses he considers essential. And it turns out the businesses the governor considers essential include hardware stores, acupuncturists, and liquor stores, bicycle repair shops, certain signage companies, accountants, lawyers, and insurance agents are all essential too. So at least according to the governor, it may be unsafe to go to church, but it is always fine to pick up another bottle of wine. Who knew public health would so perfectly align with secular convenience? That's a Neil Gorsuch bitch slap, everybody. I'm telling you, as an observer of the Supreme Court, that's what it was. Who wants more Neil Gorsuch bitch slapping? I know I do. The only explanation for treating religious places differently seems to be a judgment that what happens there just isn't as essential as what happens in secular spaces. Indeed, the governor is remarkably frank about this. In his judgment, laundry and liquor, travel and tools are all essential, while traditional religious exercises are not. That is exactly the kind of discrimination the First Amendment forbids. We all know that Andrew Cuomo is awful. .com. But did you know that Andrew Cuomo is unconstitutional? .com. I did, and you probably did too. But now it's official. On with the bitch slap. Quote, "It is time, past time, to make plain that while the pandemic poses many grave challenges, there is no world in which the Constitution tolerates color-coded executive edicts that reopen liquor stores and bike shops, but shutter churches, synagogues, and mosques." Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We have a Constitution that provides special protections for religious practice. Churches are the ugly stepchild of the First Amendment for some reason in this country, and it has to stop. No one seems to have a problem with people peaceably or not so peaceably assembling during this pandemic, provided you're celebrating Joe Biden or Black Lives Matter. No one seems to have a problem with journalists going to COVID-infected hospitals to do their stories on the horrors of coronavirus. Yet it's that freedom of the press that is utilized to criticize some peaceful assemblies and exercising of religion. Why is that? I don't see a lot of churches saying journalists shouldn't be free to utilize their freedom of the press, but I do see a lot of journalists saying that churches shouldn't be free to utilize their freedom of religion. Why is that? Anyway, Andrew Cuomo is the most disingenuous person on earth. .com. Go visit it. Listen to this.
It's irrelevant from any practical impact because the zone that they were talking about has already been moot. It expired last week. So I think this was really just an opportunity for the court to express its philosophy and politics. I fully respect religion, and if there's a time in life when we need it, the time is now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we want to make sure we keep people safe at the same time. And that's the balance we're trying to hit, especially through this holiday season.
Got that? It's moot because that church is no longer in the fuchsia zone or whatever the hell he's done here. This is a typical liberal trick with the courts. You implement something unconstitutional, you keep it in effect until it's clear you're going to lose the court case, and then you withdraw it and say there's no reason to rule on this case because we've already withdrawn the policy. See? The Supreme Court was having none of Cuomo's nonsense on this. Bitch slap. And the point isn't moot at all. What it does is stop Andrew Cuomo from freaking doing this same thing again. That's the practical effect. Andrew Cuomo got bitch slapped. And as much as Andrew Cuomo wants to target religious people, he can't do it anymore. And that's important because of the legal bitch slapping technical term. Cuomo knows this and is acting as if it wasn't a devastating defeat because he is a liar, period. And he's acting like it is no big deal because he doesn't want to appear like the loser that he is. This is totally clear when you read the ruling, but you don't. I mean, I have to say, I kind of wish they would specifically address Cuomo's claim that the decision was moot. I mean, I wish they did that. Wouldn't that be great? Luckily, they did. Quote, after the applicants asked for this court for relief, the governor reclassified the areas in question from orange to yellow. And this change means that the applicants may hold services at 50% of their maximum capacity. The dissents would deny relief at this time, but allow the diocese and the church, it's actually a synagogue, to renew their requests if this recent reclassification is reversed. There is no justification for that proposed course of action. It is clear that this matter is not moot. Bitch slapped. Andrew Cuomo got bitch slapped, and the First Amendment still stands for something. That's kind of nice. Celebrate this holiday season at AndrewCuomoGotBitchSlapped.com.